Hey Glendale, welcome to the first episode of the 411. I'm Aaron Thompson.
It's Joel Noctegal.
And we have some good stories for you today.
Yeah,
about
check them out.
What's happening around Glendale. And we're going to start with the new parking lot.
Check this out.
Over the summer, the Glendale parking lots were remodeled.
We asked Mr. Marsh to tell more about these changes.
Well, the parking lot hadn't been redone in numerous years, and so just as a maintenance of our facility, we felt like the parking lot needed to be resealed, redone for a variety of different issues. In the process of doing so, we did use Springfield's traffic engineer to also help us and help the architects in the design of the new parking lot. Many of the curbs and accesses were taken out. There was a design for better traffic flow through the parking lot that was created after an extensive study by the traffic engineers. Well, hopefully it affects students and staff both in a positive means by providing better transportation, a smoother traffic flow, and better access to our parking in our building.
I really only have experienced parking in the south lot, and I have not had any trouble with it. When I first saw it, I was unsure of whether there was going to be enough space between the lanes, but so far it's worked out really well for me.
The goal in designing the new parking lot was to include the highest number of parking spots that we can in the available ground that we have.
We also asked some students about their opinion on the new parking lot.
I think the parking lot is crowded. I think it takes too long to get out of school.
I think the parking lot is a little bit more efficient, but I have problems parking with my ginormous truck. The parallel parking is, I guess, convenient for like the first people that get there, but for everyone else it's just really obnoxious, and it's sort of like a blockade of sorts.
Well, I don't like the parking lot at all, and I think that it's going to cause a lot of wrecks. And I think that it's also stupid that I'm a senior and I'm parking in the very last row in the parking lot, 1.5 miles away from the school.
Signing out for the 4-on-1, this is Elise Monroe,
Alex Opfer, and Maddie Cash.
There's plenty of new teachers here at Glendale. Why don't you talk to some of them?
Good afternoon, Glendale. This is Joel Noctegal with the 411. Want to let you know that there's a lot of new changes at Glendale this year. We've got a new parking lot, new staff, and a new schedule. We want you to all introduce yourself to the new staff and get to know them a little bit.
My 10th year here in Springfield, first year at Glendale. I teach math, integrated math 2 and algebra 1. I also coach the swim teams, both boys and girls. Actually, I did my student teaching here 20 years ago this year.
I'm from St. Louis area. I teach Art 2 and 2 Sculpture 1 classes. This is my very first year teaching ever. I played boys football. I used to be a roller girl, and I play ukulele.
I'm originally from Fulton, Missouri. I teach English 1, and I teach TC4 and interpersonal communication. Some people may have had my wife last year. She was Mrs. Perry, and she taught in the exact same classroom that I'm currently in.
I am, in a way, originally from Springfield. I was born here, but my family traveled a lot, so I spent my childhood in California and then came back to Springfield to go to college. I teach Spanish 1 this semester, and next semester I will teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. I also teach at Pershing in the morning, Spanish 1. I've been teaching for 10 years.
This is Alec Kinnick with the 411, and if you're wanting to take any of the classes that the new teachers are teaching, then just head by Guidance and Counseling Center in room 282 and talk to the counselors about changing classes.
There's a wide selection of classes here at Glendale, and with the inclusion of some new ones, the lineup of classes just got better.
Hello, Glendale. I was just catching up on my readings. Just reading some, everyday things, and comes to find out that there's some classes here that are not your everyday classes at Glendale. What did you say? Well, in the new science department, we have some interesting classes such as ecology, astronomy, and yes, even genetics.
Yes, especially with the science department. We have, of course, the new astronomy class, the genetics class, and the ecology classes taught by Mr. Sparks, Mr. Yonke, Ms. Lyons, respectively. Taking science classes and being involved in science. So they're always working on that, but probably about a 2 to 3 year process in terms of thinking about the class and getting it prepared to present for approval, and then of course getting it actually in the curriculum for students to take. Give it genetics and Mr. Sparks with astronomy and Ms. Lyons with ecology, as well of course as all our other science teachers in that department with the class that they've already been teaching. They're very passionate about those classes, especially teaching kids those subject matters, and so I really think they'll be around for a while.
Mr. Sparks, and I teach the new astronomy class, and I'm also teaching physics first this year. Well, it's a brand new class to Springfield Schools. We have a new software program called Starry Night that's a really, really high-end, very nice astronomy simulator. It's basically like having the Hubble telescope at your fingertips. You can fly out into the universe, check out all kinds of stuff, look at stars, galaxies, nebula, planets, pretty much anything you want. I think it's going to be a success. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants right now because it is a new class. We're trying to piece together exactly how we're going to do it and get the curriculum all built, but it's going to be a cool class. So far, my students have told me that they've been having a really good time and that they're learning stuff, and so I think we have a real good chance of having it stick around.
Behind the scenes with student Adam Pack as we discover some of the secrets that lie behind the genetics class.
Yeah, you know, it's the first time it's ever been taught, so we don't even have a textbook actually, or anything really to go off of except slideshows that Yonke made over the summer. But we're doing some pretty cool stuff. Actually, Yonke was telling us that he's got some plans to have us make a glow-in-the-dark fish. I'm not sure if you've heard about it, but the Chinese have been doing that with animals, and we're actually going to give it a shot with a goldfish, so that should be pretty darn cool.
Man, there's some pretty cool science classes. I wish I could take them all. Oof. Signing out for the 4-in-1, this is John Watson and Hunter Lane, who is not here, but shout out to him. Thank you.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but school starts at 7:50 this year. How do you feel about that?
Is leaving the house 10 minutes early such a hassle for students and teachers across Glendale High?
This is the first year Glendale is required to start at 7:50, and we dove in to see how students and teachers were responding to this matter.
The decision to start school 10 minutes early was really three things. It was the school board decreasing the number of student contact days. We have 176 school days last year, and we have 170 school days this year. That in turn caused specifically Glendale, Kickapoo, and Parkview to not have enough instructional minutes, so each of those schools had to extend their school day in some way, shape, or form because of the schedules that we run. With that, Glendale and Kickapoo were required to move the start time to 7:50 because of transportation problems. We really didn't have control over the start time situation.
Well, I don't like this messed up Wednesday business. I would rather go to school at 8 every day. Much easier.
You know, it doesn't affect me at all. You know, I wake up every morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, so 10 minutes, that's nothing to me. So, hey, I just soon start school at 7 and get out at 1. So 10 minutes, not a big deal to me.
I don't like the early start. The bell schedule really confuses me.
I don't really like starting at 7:50, but I do like the late starts on Wednesdays.
Set your alarm clocks 10 minutes early, Glendale, because we're starting at 7:50.
Signing out for the 411, this is Lindsay Evans
and Abby Blanton.
To conclude the show, we have a recap of the Welcome Back Assembly. For this episode of 411, I'm Aaron Thompson.
And Alec Dick.
And we'll see you next time. Stay classy, Glendale.
need to act natural.
Just natural.
Natural. Natural. Loosen up. We're birds.